As a career coach and a committee member of Women in Mining South Africa, I have the privilege of meeting really interesting people on a daily basis. My name's Bryony Lieber, and in this conversation I'm chatting with Mbali Milanzi, the managing director and co-founder of the Tshepa Basadi Group. Let's explore self-care and burnout. I think it's an issue that a lot of women struggle with, is putting themselves first, caring for themselves, filling their own cup first, taking time out to just be, let alone to just breathe, having boundaries, staying away from people pleasing, staying away from trying to be everything to everybody. And all of those things ultimately can lead to burnout if you aren't self-aware. And I'm wondering how self-care is something that you are able to honor, what your journey with self-care has been like, and what your advice to other young women in the mining industry would be around the importance of self-care.
Bryony, I couldn't have said it better myself. Women, I think we generally struggle. We've got a lot on our plate, but a lot of the times, some of it is self-inflicted, because we don't seek help, we don't speak up, um, we we accept that it's all my burden. I have to shoulder everything. And one thing that I'm really learning is to reach out for help, to say, I cannot do everything. Um, and knowing my limitations has helped me so much because now I can think outside the box around what can I do? If resources were unlimited, how would my life be different? And what can I do to change my current situation so that I can look after myself? And I think those are the questions that we constantly need to ask ourselves, but also reach out to others to seek help around how do we, how do I make more time for me? I'm juggling being a mother, I'm juggling being a wife, being a businesswoman. And I think it's for me, it's a journey that I think um, I'm constantly working on. What self-care looks like to me is having time for myself every day to re-energize, to center myself. Self-care is also about, you know, health and wellness and spending time reading a book that enhances you, um, but also helps you to just block out everything around you and just focus on you. It's about exercise. It's about spirituality. It's about whatever is important to you that gives you energy. Sometimes it's even about spending time with other people. Um, Being in a situation where you're networking or you're spending time with friends and family, that for me is self-care. And I'm having to be very intentional about blocking time out for those specific things, prioritizing those things. Look, I'm not doing well on those KPIs, but but I'm getting there. It's like I said, it's a journey. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Absolutely. And I think self-care is what helps us run the marathon and finish the marathon. I think when we treat life and we treat work as a sprint, we're going to deplete ourselves very, very quickly. But what I really liked about what you said is knowing your limitations and being able to ask for help. And it's almost as if when you are very clear on your limitations, you can somehow strip away your limitations completely because you are able to bring more capacity to you by asking for help, by intentionally kind of securing time for what you need, time, securing resources for what you need. And I think there's some irony in that, because we're talking about limiting yourself when you don't know your own limitations, and when you do know your own limitations, suddenly how that actually frees you up.
It does. It really, really does. Because if you feel you can do everything, then you won't ask for help. Um, but when you really sit back and you say, I can't, I really need someone else to take on this and that. And I think I've learned that from you, Bryony. So thank you.
Well, thank you for reminding me, because I think I'm learning it back from you as well. And I also want to rephrase that, because when we think I can't do everything versus I don't need to do everything,
Exactly.
it's a very different emphasis.